Hi again, friends. Okay, so today we have a new story, and it's called My Family, and it's by George Ancona. And as I did with our first story, I'm going to go over a little bit about the important parts that we see at the beginning of the story and why we have them there. So remember, usually our stories want us to find out who is the author and who is the illustrator. And in this case, we have it's an author and a photographer. It says right up here at the top, meet the author and photographer. And we're going to talk for a little bit why we have a photographer and not an illustrator. So here's our author, George Ancona. And it says that he's often asked if he keeps in touch with the people that he photographs. And the answer is yes. Not long ago, he heard from the father of the young boy he had photographed for Pablo Remembers. Pablo, now grown, was getting married. Mr. Ancona went back to Mexico to go to Pablo's wedding. Now, there's a reason why we have a photographer instead of an illustrator, and that goes along with the genre or the type of story that we're reading. This type of story is called an informational text. So I see the word information inside that word, and information is facts or something for you to learn or know. So an informational text gives you facts about a topic. And usually as we're reading, we can see photos and we can see information about real events and people. So informational text or informational stories are all true stories. They're all facts. Everything you read in that story is true. Now, every once in a while, an author might put their opinion or their own feelings into the story, but the facts or the topic is true. Everything is real. It's real events, real people, real information, real places, that kind of thing. So the reason why the author wants to use photographs instead of drawings is because that way you can actually see the real things. So this is a story about an actual family. So he wants to use photographs of the actual family. And as I scroll my mouse over, it says a photo of a girl with her parents and little brother. Just so you know what that's saying right there. So it is actually a photograph of the girl in the story that we're going to be reading about. And then here are some drawings or some paintings of children. Now, also remember too, our stories have essential questions that we spend some time talking about and thinking about and discussing as we go through the story. So the essential question for this story, My Family, is what are some things that families like to do together? We don't need to answer that right now. We'll just think about it a little bit and talk about it as we go through the story for the next few days, and then we'll talk a little bit more towards the end about it. So, I am Camilla. I live in Miami with my mother, Damaris, my father, Roberto, and my brother, Rene. My mother came from Cuba. My father came from Puerto Rico. So again, see, we have real photographs right here. My mother and I go to school together. That's because she teaches Spanish in my school. When we are at home, I like to help her cook dinner. Sometimes, when my grandma Marta comes to visit, I dress up and put on a show for her. Today she is teaching me a song. It goes like this. There once was a sailor at sea who liked to play the guitar. When he remembered his faraway land, he picked up his guitar and began to sing on the high sea, on the high sea, on the high sea. And then I guess you repeat that part. Rene is my little brother. Our friends and family come to the house for his birthday. We play games, eat, and sing happy birthday to him. Here is my family. Grandmother Marta and grandfather Rigoberto had 4 children. Almost all of them came to Rene's birthday party. And I'm going to describe this just a little bit so that you can see what the words say, and we'll talk more about this in the story later. It says Marta and Rigoberto, Andreas and Darlene, their children are Victor and Mar Isabel. Maria, Irene, and Victor, their children are Victoria, Valeria, and Vanessa. Martika and Miguel, their children are Gabriela and Leticia. And Damaris and Roberto, their children are Rene and Camilla. So these are the people that are married right here with the word and in between, and these are all the children at the bottom. And this is a picture of the whole family. Grandma came with Aunt Maria Irene and Victoria. Uncle Andreas came with Victor and Mar Isabel. Aunt Martika, Uncle Miguel, Gabriela, and Letitia came too. Soon the house was full. We played many games. Aunt Maria Irene showed us how to play hopscotch. Little Letitia put on a crown to dance. Grandpa Rigoberto danced with cousin Mar Isabel. On Sundays, we go to church with Grandma. Then we all go to Aunt Martika and Uncle Miguel's house. After lunch, we play music and sing. Uncle Miguel plays the double bass. Uncle Andreas plays the violin. Aunt Darlene plays the piano. Victor plays the clarinet, and Mar Isabel plays the flute. We spend the rest of the day in the backyard. The grown-ups play dominoes while Uncle Andreas tells funny stories. Gabriela and I sit on the porch and paint pictures. What I like best is when Puppy takes us fishing. Most of the time my hook gets stuck on a rock. I can't wait to catch my first fish. And that is the end of our story for today. So if you would like to go back and listen to the story again, you can. We will be reading through the story again and talking about it a little bit more and answering some questions. So we will hear it for a couple more times as we go through this story for the next few days. So thank you for listening, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!